Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Zach Bagner. I am the Director of Financial Planning here at Summit Financial Consulting. And today we're going to be discussing credit cards and what we believe is an appropriate use of credit card debt. Credit cards can be a very polarizing topic when discussing personal finances. There are some people out there who swear they will never own a credit card, and there are others who use a credit card to pay for as many expenses as possible. Today, we're going to break down our professional view as to why and when you may want to use a credit card. First, it is important to note that we believe you should not be focusing on using a credit card if you are currently struggling with your monthly bills or in other large amounts of debt. Whether you have a lot of debt outstanding or you have issues with your monthly budget, we feel these should be a bigger priority than whether or not you should use a credit card. We have previous blog topics such as a debt snowball versus an avalanche approach, budgeting 101 topic. Once you have a solid foundation, then you can start to approach credit cards and the appropriate usage. In general, credit cards have a very high interest rate, and with today's rates being higher than normal, it becomes even more dangerous to use a credit card. It is our belief that if you are going to use a credit card, to make sure you pay off the entire balance at the end of the month. This will prevent any unnecessary interest being charged to your account. If you do not make that payment and it does accrue the interest, you can make that expense 20 to 30% more expensive than it would have been had you paid in cash. Credit card debt is one of our least favorite types of debt to see for a client, so we always make sure we stress the importance of making sure they're paid off every month. One of the top reasons why we see people using credit cards, and it was actually the reason why I started using my very first one when I was 18, is to help build credit. When I was in college, I used a very small limit credit card. I had $200 or $300 as my limit. I would pay for my monthly gas to go back to and from school around campus, and then I would make sure that was paid off every month. The $50, $60 I was spending was a small amount, but it allowed me to build that credit and that payment history to increase my credit score. Now, it was a very small limit because I didn't have much of a credit history. I was young, low income, and it allowed me to reasonably and responsibly use that credit card. Now, there are other ways to irresponsibly use credit cards, but if that is your goal to build credit, we suggest using very small purchases so that you can ensure you do pay off that balance every month and that it does not balloon or get out of control for you. Next, credit card providers want you to use their cards as much as possible. They actually earn a transaction fee, a very small percent every time you swipe or tap your credit card. Now, even if you're not being charged interest, they are still making money every time you use your card. That's why they typically tend to offer rewards or benefits such as cash back, travel rewards, etc. Now, we want to stress the fact that if you're getting a 2.5% cash back, you're getting a little bit of a discount every time you swipe or tap your card. However, if you do not pay off that balance at the end of the month, the interest that you're going to be charged, that 20 to 30% maybe on the interest rate, is definitely going to outweigh that 2-3% cash back that you might receive as a reward. Some cards even offer even more attractive benefits if you're willing to pay an annual fee. These fees may be $100 or $500 per year, and you typically get more cash back. You might get a travel rewards multiplier, etc. You typically just get more bang for your buck if you are paying actually annually for that card rather than just paying whatever interest rate might be associated with it. Now, it is very situational. If you do not travel much, it doesn't make sense to pay for a travel rewards credit card since you probably aren't going to use those rewards as much. Also, for example, Delta Airlines may offer their own credit card, but if you typically choose a lower cost airline, such as Spirit, why would you choose a Delta credit card if you don't really ever fly Delta? It doesn't really make sense, and you won't really receive as many of those benefits since you don't use those applicable airlines. Now, there are lots of credit cards available online, and there are other resources available to view and kind of search to see what might be available for you. We also always recommend check with the bank that you currently use for like your checking or savings account because they typically offer at least some decent or attractive benefits for current account holders. Now, if you're ever concerned or confused about the benefits or potential downsides of using a credit card, we definitely recommend you meet with your personal advisor. They can help you sort through the different options that might be available. They can work with your budget to see if it makes sense or if there are other higher priority items that you should be more concerned about. we just discuss whenever you make a giant or a large financial decision, discuss with your personal advisor first to make sure it makes sense for your situation. When it comes to the high fees and the high interest rate on these credit cards, it's better to be safe than sorry, since that can snowball out of control pretty quickly and cause you to increase the amount of debt or liabilities that you may not have needed. Once again, my name is Zach from Summit Financial Consulting. I want to thank you for taking the time today to watch this video. If you could, please like and subscribe. It'll keep you up to date on our future videos, and we'll catch you next time.
Summit Financial,
Working with people you trust.